Hey there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Readings That Heal with Marisa Moments, where we are working on forcing reflections and accountability into action. So we're talking about healing, we're talking about growth, we're talking about abundance, we're talking about ascension and awakening, right? Through real life stories and channeled messages, along with their healing translations. Now, do be warned, we are not hand-holding over here. We're talking about actually looking ourselves in the mirror and then taking action accordingly. So if you are a sensitive soul and if you are not ready, willing, or able to move forward through your wounds and healing, then this might not be the space for you. And if that's the case, I love you and I send you off with blessings. So I will give you a minute to exit. All right, so if you're still here, that means you're my type of people. You're digging my energy, you're digging my vibe, and I'm digging yours too, even though we haven't even met yet. Anywho, so we're going to carry on with the vision and the story and the real life episodes, if you will, that I've experienced, so that way we can start our journey. So here we go. Man, I've been having so many visions lately and so many just downloads lately that it's hard to keep track of. So I didn't even know how to label this, right? I was like, is this a sermon? Is it a talk? What is it? Anyway, this is what I receive, and it's entitled The Mice and the Movers. Yes, God is giving me titles for these now. So what it is, and I'm going to be reading this, is God made me remember a story about right before my family and I were about to move out of an apartment. And it was a long search to find a new home, and yet we finally found something. And when you know it, right before we were about to leave, I noticed something in our living room. It was mouse droppings. Now, I'm not here to gross you out or anything. This is not for shock and awe. I promise you, I'm going to get to the point. The thing of it is, as soon as I discovered them, I didn't feel any type of way, right? I was okay. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't really like it, but, let's move on. However, once we put a trap out and actually caught them, my feelings started to shift. Now, this isn't about animal cruelty or anything like that. I don't know how you feel about it, but listen, they were in my home and I had to get them out. That's just real talk. Don't cancel me. Anyway, so I started to feel a shift after we caught them. Now, that shift in a nutshell was basically freaking all the way out. I told my husband I was ready to leave, even though, as a side note, we were going to be moving in literally 2 days. I told my husband there was no way I could stay there. I was so panicked. I didn't know what to do. I was shaking, right? So then my husband had to step in with a cool head to prevail. He took care of the situation, and he and I together created a boundary. Now I'm not talking about like a metaphorical boundary, right? I'm talking about a real tangible boundary, as in a blockade. There was no way any creature was going to invade the rest of ours, right? And rest of our space. So now, did I sleep comfortably that night? Absolutely not. I was so fearful, you would have thought that little mice had machine guns. Right? Luckily, we were able to move up our move date to the following day, and we wouldn't have to worry about those little mice ever again. So, as this relates to your situation and circumstance, God, Spirit, Gaia wants you to know that He will never reveal something when you are not prepared to face it. You picking it up? He will never put you in a circumstance for which you are not ready. Now, of course, just like in my scenario, it may not be fun. However, just like in my scenario, you will be provided with a solution. Now, here's the question, though. Okay, what do you focus on, the problem, or do you focus on the solution? That's a question that only you can answer. What I found is that most of us end up focusing on the problem, just like I did in that scenario. And don't worry if this is you. Again, like I said, I'm right there with you. You see, sometimes the obstacle feels insurmountable. However, I'm here to tell you today that the problem is no bigger than a tiny mouse. And your God, our God, is a proverbial mousetrap and movers. Did you just pick that up? Our God, your God, Source, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and saints, your divinity team is not only the mousetrap, but they are the movers, right? So when you are tempted to freak out in the face of an inconvenience, drama, and problems, just remember that the movers are coming sooner than you think. Now, I hope you just picked up everything that was intended in that message, because Spirit's definitely been working through me, to me, hew me. I don't even know what that meant, but it felt right and it rhymed. Anyway, so that's it. And as always, if this message resonates, then that means it is for you. And if not, that's cool too. Just keep it pushing. Either way, I thank you for listening, and I wish you the best day ever. Until next time, you know the vibes. Peace. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to check me out on all of social media. I am literally everywhere. But when you look me up, just remember to look up Marisa Moments, and that is Marisa with one S, because as I always like to say, there's only one me. So until next time, I wish you the best and happy healing.